Good evening, the time now is 11 p.m. On top of the hour headlines. Search and rescue effort continues as death toll in BATANG landslide incident reaches 21. Matters pertaining to MA63 will be presented in cabinet meeting next week, and phase 1 of the long-awaited ART is slated to operate by 2025. Hello there, you're now with me, Douglas Elliott, and this is TVS Nightline. We begin with today's top headline. The death toll of the tragic BATANG landslide incident currently stands at 21, with 12 more still missing. Selangor Fire and Rescue Department Bomba Director Datuk Nur Azam Khamis said that the search and rescue operation will continue for the next 24 hours. Meanwhile, Deputy Prime Minister and Federal Disaster Management Committee Chairman Dato Sri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi, when met during a visit to the site, said, based on preliminary findings and investigations by the Public Works Department and Lands and Mines Department, there were 2 underground streams at the location of the incident.
Operasi ini akan diteruskan untuk 24 jam dan bergantung kepada keadaan cuaca. Jika hujan, kita akan stop serta-merta. Tapi setakat ini kita masih meneruskan di mana anggota penyelamat telah disusun.
Similarly, the remains of 2 victims locked in an embrace were found in the landslide by rescuers. The bodies, believed to be of that of a mother and her 3-year-old daughter, were discovered by rescuers at around 4:40 p.m. Rescuers believe the 2 victims were those camping at the hilltop or farm view area, and their bodies were carried by the landslide toward the riverside area.
More than 20 teachers of SJKC Mun Chung and their families were among the victims of the BATANG landslide incident. So far, 2 teachers have been found safe, while 5 others are still missing. According to the school's Parents and Teachers Association president, the teachers and their family members have been at the camping site since Wednesday for a 3-day vacation in conjunction with the year-end school holiday. Some of the teachers had been rescued and were sent to the hospital for treatment. It added the teachers were supposed to have returned to their homes today. The Ministry of Education this evening confirmed that teachers and students were indeed among the victims and clarified that the activity was not organized by the school. However, the ministry is prepared to provide assistance and support to the victims and their next of kin. Meanwhile, a witness of the BATANG landslide described the harrowing moment before tragedy struck. 22-year-old Teh Lin Xuan said she heard a rumbling and thunder-like roar around 2 a.m. before seeing the campsite at Zone A of the father's organic farm buried under piles of earth.
Around 2 a.m. I heard very loud noise, and then it came like the first time, then the second time you can feel the thing is like blocking us. I think the first time is like the Zone A is already gone. I'm at the hilltop campsite, and then 3 a.m. something after we take everybody out, and we look for help, but yeah, we call try to get signal.
According to the witness, there were over 40 holiday makers camping at the site.
Communications and Digital Minister Fahmi Fadzil today advised social media users to be more careful and sensitive in sharing inappropriate videos and images that could lead to defamation and misunderstanding.
He said in case of any accident or tragedy, social media users should be more responsible and respect the victims and their families by giving them space and not spreading their shame to others through videos and images that could lead to misinterpretation. citing an example of a viral video showing a crying child next to the body of a woman who was believed to be his mother in a murder case in Kampong Icebox, Tawau. Fahmi said it was devastating to watch such a video and that it still has an effect on him. after attending his first monthly assembly with the Ministry of Communication and Digital (KKD) staff here today, Fahmi added the same goes for the victims of the landslides at Father's Organic Farm campsite in Batang Kali earlier today. Preliminary information from police said about 100 people were buried after a landslide occurred, but as of 11 a.m., 53 victims have been brought out safely, while 9 perished in the incident.
The Father's Organic Farm campsite, the scene of the tragic landslide early on Friday, had been operating illegally. Local Government Development Minister Nga Koming said the campsite was run without an operating license from the Hulu Selangor District Council, following which Nga ordered all high-risk camping sites across the country to be closed for 7 days effective today.
Nga said the operator was in breach of Act 133, namely the Street Drainage and Building Act, adding that the operator can be sentenced to 3 years in prison or a fine not more than 50,000 ringgit. On the nationwide campsite closure, he said that the move is to prevent similar incidents, especially as the country is currently facing the northeast monsoon. All campsites along rivers, waterfalls and hillsides that may be dangerous will be immediately vacated for 7 days. He added the order of closure will persist until further notice.
And authorities are urged to identify and reassess the necessary criteria for slopes throughout the country. Environmental activist and Eco-Nights Vice President Amlir Ayat does not deny the possibility of errors in studies for several slopes such as the one in Batang Kali.
Thus, Amlir explained that thorough monitoring and greater enforcement must be implemented to ensure no reoccurrence of such incidents.
Kita juga harus melihat kepada aspek-aspek penguasaan dan pemantauan. Ini sangat penting sebab kadang-kadang perkara-perkara ini dia berlaku tanpa pengetahuan kita kalau kita tidak pantau. Jadi pemantauan dan juga pengawasan ini harus dijalankan dengan lebih aktif dan lebih efektif. Ini sangat penting kerana kita tidak tahu apakah yang berlaku selepas ini. Seperti yang disebutkan, tidak terdapat tanda-tanda besar akan berlakunya bencana tanah runtuh di kawasan tersebut, tetapi ia tetap berlaku. Ini berarti ada masalah kajian atau penyelidikan di kawasan tersebut. Apakah yang kita terlepas pandang? Apakah faktor-faktor lain yang menyebabkan bencana tersebut? Mungkin ada parameter ataupun kriteria risiko yang kita terlepas pandang yang perlu kita perhatikan pada waktu akan datang.
He added a few other areas in West Malaysia, especially tourist attractions, are facing the same risks.
Berdasarkan perhatian saya, di beberapa buah negeri terdapat beberapa kawasan yang saya lihat mungkin mempunyai risiko yang tinggi untuk menghadapi masalah bukan setakat masalah tanah runtuh tetapi juga masalah kepada air ataupun masalah banjir. Umpamanya di Selangor terdapat beberapa kawasan pelancongan yang berada berhampiran dengan kawasan tanah tinggi ataupun kawasan yang berisiko tinggi, misalnya di Janda Baik. Di Cameron Highlands juga perlu diberi peningkatan pengepungan di Cameron Highlands juga perlu diberikan perhatian yang tinggi dan sewajarnya. Ini satu isu yang perlu diperhatikanlah. Dan di Kedah, Pahang,
Now on to other developments. Deputy Prime Minister Dato Sri Fadillah Yusof will be presenting matters pertaining to the Malaysia Agreement 1963 MA63 in next week's cabinet meeting. As such, Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim said it will also involve some specific considerations for development and basic principles that will affect Sabah and Sarawak.
Dan kami menyerahkan kepada TPM Datuk Sri Fadillah untuk memfungsikan dan mengangkat semula kepada saya untuk dibentangkan kepada mesyuarat Jemaah Menteri bulan depan, minggu depan, maaf.
According to Anwar, among the issues that will be taken into account involves Sabah and Sarawak's financial position, the questions of authority to improve development projects, and the recognition of workers in both Bornean states. Anwar, who is also the Pakatan Harapan's chairman, assured that the efforts made will be realised.
Hal-hal lain yang terikat dengan pindaan peraturan atau undang-undang tentunya mengambil lebih masa untuk sidang parlimen berikutnya.
He said this during a press conference after the signing ceremony of agreement between coalition parties under the unity government at Perdana Putra on Friday. Also present were Sabah Chief Minister Datuk Seri Haji Jinor and Warisan Party President Datuk Seri Muhammad Shafi Abdal.
Gabungan Parti Sarawak Chairman Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg noted that the coalition will not put forward a motion to expedite the process of reclaiming Sarawak's rights as enshrined under MA 63 in the upcoming Parliament sitting on December 19 and 20th, while indicating that the low-hanging fruit of the outstanding matters of the agreement that doesn't require constitutional amendments are in the midst of fine-tuning by Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Fadilah Yusof.
You do not require constitutional amendment.
Which are the areas involved?
JKR, recognition of JKR Technical Department is one. And number two is LHDN representative.
Okay.
And the other one is 112D.
The Premier also noted that the sitting would only be held for 2 days, to which essential matters will be put forward in Parliament, such as the vote of confidence to Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim and the tabling of the budget to the civil servants.
They will table vote of confidence. Itu aja. Because there are going to be another Parliament session for budget. This one is only for small budget for the civil servants.
The Sarawak Autonomous Rapid Transit or ART, a component of the Kuching Urban Transportation System or KUTS, is slated to be operational by the fourth quarter of 2025. The first phase of the KUTS project, which includes the construction of the Rembus Depot in Kota Semarahan, will be beneficiary to the communities, especially to commuters, ensuring a safe and efficient mode of transportation with an affordable price.
Yang penting ialah kita akan membangunkan Kuching, Kereta Kuching ke kawasan yang agak luar pada Kuching, tidaklah Kuching congested. Orang pun dapat mula rumah jauh dan mereka dapat menggunakan sistem pengangkutan yang efisien. Dan kalaunya ada stesen transit di sini, orang boleh mula rumah ke dalam sikit, kita gunakan bas. Si payah kita pergi Kuching, buat motor kita pun ke Kuching, kita gunakan public transport.
Another reason Kota Semarahan was chosen was due to its strategic location, coupled with the present and ongoing infrastructure's development. He spoke during the launching ceremony of KUTS projects, Phase 1, on an 80-acre site on Friday, December 16th. KUTS will be developed in 3 stages: Blue Line, Red Line and Green Line, with an estimate cost of 5 billion ringgit. The Blue Line consists of 27.6 kilometers from Rembus in Kota Semarahan to Hikmah Exchange. Red Line, 12.3 kilometers, covers Kuching Central to Pending, and the Green Line comprised of 30 kilometers from Pending to Damai Central. Abang Johari added the system is the first to be implemented in ASEAN, while Sarawak boasts the rights of utilizing hydrogen energy in its public transportation system.
When you have this modern public transport, using the latest technology, you create job, which is of high standard. When you create job of high standard, the pay is high. The income is high. So the question of spill-off effect on the economy is great. And you got a very efficient public transport. Dan kalau ini berlaku, turis pun boleh menggunakan public transport kita. Kalau nya nak pergi ke, katakanlah nya nak pergi ke tempat pelancongan di kawasan ini, dia naik public transport, naik LRT, dia pergi ke tempat tersebut dan tidak ditipu oleh orang.
The KUTS project is fully financed by the state government and will be utilizing hydrogen energy produced by Sarawak itself. In the same event, Abang Johari also witnessed 3 Memorandum of Understanding being exchanged between Sarawak Metro Sdn Bhd with University Technical Mara Sdn Bhd, University Technology Mara and Centre of Technology Excellence Sarawak.
The plan to develop a light rail transit or LRT system was scrapped due to its impact on the environment and the cost of its construction. States Premier Dato' Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg said to build the LRT, it will require much more time for its infrastructural development, while the usage of fossil fuels will only contribute to higher emissions of pollutants. Instead of LRT, the Autonomous Rapid Transit or ART was opted and will be implemented in Sarawak.
Dia boleh berjalan sendiri, autonomous, tak ada driver. Jadi sebab itu saya mengambil keputusan kita gunakanlah ART untuk Sarawak. Ini pertama dalam dunia. The first in the world. So, using hydrogen as a clean energy that does not pollute our environment. Itu kita order lah. Macam kereta api, tapi bukan kereta api. Macam bas, tapi bukan bas. Jadi kira tengah-tengah. Nak kata pondan ada juga. Tapi dia adalah combination of this technology and it is reasonable in cost and let Sarawak start it first.
Abang Johari recalled his ambition to establish such public transport since he was a child when he used to take the bus to his destination. When he took over as the state's top leadership in 2017, he wanted to immediately implement a system that could ease the movements of Sarawakian from one place to another. But when the idea was first mooted, he received backlash.
Mula-mula saya kena kritik. Kenapa pula ART? Ongkosnya tinggi. Saya diam aja lah. Wang anak-anak lah. Kelak dah siap pulaknya. Jawab makin. Tak? Kita mesti ada vision. Jadi saya congak-congak lah carilah duit. Tahun tu kita pun budget the first in history. 11 billion yang kita lancarkan.
He added political stability is key to implementing such a project while attracting more foreign investors to invest in the state's economy.
Kerana kita ada cara baru dah menguruskan ekonomi kita. Sudah di Semenanjung jealous dengan kita lah. Jealous yo. Jangan anggap Sarawak begitu baik ya. Jangan ambil orang Sarawak jadi DPM, timbalan Perdana Menteri. Kena kita politik kita betul. Politik kita stabil. Rakyat bersatu padu.
Sarawak's ART will be implemented in 3 phases. The first would connect Kota Semarahan up to Damai Central, while the second phase would be implemented in surrounding the Serian area. The third phase is currently under the planning stage, which Abang Johari said will be implemented in Bintulu to connect to Samalaju Industrial Area and Kidurong, where investments are abundant.
More to come. Good news for telco users as the ministry is set to cut down on telco service rates. Plus, the world's biggest freestanding cylindrical aquarium burst in Berlin. All this and more on TVS Nightline. Welcome back. The Ministry of Domestic Trade and Cost of Living KPDN has launched an operation to probe into issues concerning the supply and price of goods. The month-long operation, dubbed the Obsturja, will be conducted nationwide.
Its Minister, Dato Seri Salahuddin Ayub, said the operation will inspect and monitor these issues in premises such as markets, mini-marts, convenience stores, hawkers and food premises. He added the operation will also identify zones or areas affected by these issues and classify them by level of severity. It will also get to the root cause of supply chain issues and skyrocketing prices of goods in the country. In a press conference today, Salahuddin said 2,200 enforcement officers nationwide shall be deployed for the said operation. He further said the ministry will also boost the presence of enforcement personnel at consumer hotspots in order to promote an ethical business and shopping environment.
The Ministry of Communications and Digital KKD will soon announce good news in regard to telco service rates to help cushion the impact of the rising cost of living, especially for the B40 and M40 groups before Christmas. Its Minister Fahmi Fadzil said this would mainly involve internet and phone charges.
Saya tidak lihat isunya hanya sekadar harga, ya, isu rangkaian dan capaian itu adalah isu yang penting. Ya, tunggu Santa Claus datang. Ya, jadi tapi kita lihat memang isu internet, isu charge telefon, ya, ini antara perkara yang saya sangat prihatin.
Fahmi said numerous calls were made on social media for several matters to be scrutinized, especially in terms of costs and quality of service. He also added that some areas were facing service problems because not all mobile network operators MNOs were operating in the area involved.
Moving on to foreign affairs, the world's largest freestanding cylindrical aquarium in a hotel in Berlin burst early on Friday, spilling over 1 million liters of water, debris, and over 1,500 exotic fish onto a major road in the busy mid-district, and forced major roads near the hotel to be shut down due to the large volume of water. Standing 14 meters in height, authorities are still unclear as to what had caused the aquarium to burst. A spokesperson for the Berlin Fire Department said emergency responders had been unable to access the ground floor of the building due to the debris. And over in Japan, hundreds of Japanese residents protested on Thursday in Tokyo against government's intention to increase defense spending and strengthen the so-called counter-attack capability. Protesters held banners with slogans showing their protest against the expansion of government forces and against constitutional amendment and wars.
Japan's Liberal Democratic Party and Komeito Party reached a consensus on 3 documents regarding the country's national security, which the government plans to revise. The Japanese government will make a final decision on the revision of the documents on Friday at a cabinet meeting. They've made huge changes on key security policies when the National Diet is not in session and without any discussion of the Diet. They are taking their own initiative. It's totally wrong for them to make cabinet decision this way. We firmly oppose to amending the Constitution and so we will speak out.
We are here as we cannot see the younger generations following this wrong way.
Citing a Japan media, the so-called counterattack capability may bring more uncertainties to the regional situation.
If Japan wants to achieve its so-called security guarantee, it should make efforts to avoid wars through diplomatic means rather than emphasizing the counter-attack capability and war preparedness. We should choose peaceful ways. As adults, we have the responsibility to make efforts for our younger generations and stop the military expansion as soon as possible.
And finally, former Argentina midfielder Maxi Rodriguez is hopeful that Lionel Messi will finally bring home a World Cup in this weekend's final match against France. He further added that a victory against France would secure Messi's standing as the greatest soccer player of all time.
I've been hearing a lot of that, and it's hard to analyze whether he needs to lift a trophy or not. I think Leo Messi is and has been for a long time the best player in history at this moment, just like Diego Maradona and Pele were in their time and like other great players were. So we hope he gets it, because I think on an individual level, it's the only thing he's missing.
Uruguayan striker Diego Forlan also backed Messi's quest in clinching the World Cup.
He's been showing how good he is season after season, and he's got a great team around him, and he's happy. It's a great group, and it's really nice to see someone with his conditions and shining the way he is and doing what he's doing for the Argentine people.
Messi will earn his 172nd cap and is playing in his 5th and final World Cup of his career. Nearly 100 former players take part in the FIFA Legends Cup, which saw 8 teams playing in 18 matches. Some of the other stars who have dusted off their boots include former World Cup winners like Iker Casillas, Carles Puyol, Cafu and Francesco Totti.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates, both locally and internationally, just a click away. More headlines anytime at tvstv.my or follow us on our social media. And that's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. I'm Douglas Elliott. Thank you for watching and have a good weekend ahead.
Jom ke Rock and Rio bersama Unify dari 16 hingga 18 Disember di Bukit Kiara Equestrian Resort yang meraihkan industri kreatif tempatan. Saksikan